2008 campaign. Mamelodi Sundowns play their first match since the trip to Cameroon against Astres Douala in the CAF Cup. Their lineup overshadowed by the tragic passing of Gift Leremi. It means that there's an opportunity tonight for Brent Cardle. Sir Patrick Ampataki is a surprise choice in attack. The Democratic Republic of Congo international comes into the lineup, and Surprise Muriri, of course, will be key. He played for Bafana both on Saturday and also on Wednesday in those internationals against Zambia and Uruguay. Coach is Gordon Ingerson, who won this trophy with Orlando Pirates. Bibi Matombo takes Orlando Pirates into his first cup final. Francis Chansa is tonight's goalkeeper. He started his career here in Durban with Crystal Brains, also played for Lamontville Golden Arrows. One change in the side, Lebogang Mokoena comes into the lineup. He replaces Benachanene, who's on the bench. It's a very attacking lineup tonight. Teko Modise was the man of the match for South Africa in midweek against Uruguay. His acumen in midfield will be key for the Buccaneers today. Joseph Kamwendo from Malawi gets a chance to play in a South African Cup final just a couple of months after signing here for the Buccaneers. So the two teams are out on the pitch. The supporters are in the crowd. There's been a great atmosphere. Acing Ngobo, the experienced referee, takes charge of tonight's game. Sipiwo Jibuliza from Uitenhage and Geronimo Kent from Port Elizabeth are his two assistants, and Mr. Yusuf Wada is your fourth official. Now a chance to have a look at the replacements for both sides in tonight's game. Kelvin Marlin, as you can see, has been surprisingly left out. Into his place comes Brian Beloy. Godfrey Sapula, the footballer of the year in the last campaign, is also on the bench. He's just come back from injury. Ngwenya lost his place to Apataki, and Michael Manzini is on his way back from injury. Of the national anthem for the two teams as they await the start of this SAA Super 8 Cup final. Mamelodi Sundowns, who last won this trophy back in 13 years ago, 1993, up against Orlando Pirates, who were under the helm of Gordon Ingerson when they lifted this last. It's the SAA Super 8, a trophy in various guises, which has been amongst the oldest competitions in professional football in this country, stretching back to 1971.
The best versus the best.
So Gift Leremi's passing certainly casts a pale over tonight's encounter. There'll be a moment's silence. Black armbands being worn by the Orlando Pirates and Mamelodi Sundowns players in recognition of a player who certainly livened up the South African football scene. Played for both of these clubs, of course, and his career just looked to be on the rise after his joining of Sundowns at the start of the season. Now, it's been a tough road to the final for both of these teams. Sundowns needing penalties in the semi-final to overcome a tough and gritty Jomo Cosmos. They were really emphatic in that quarter-final victory against Bloemfontein Celtic, winning by 4-1. Orlando Pirates were away from home in their quarter-final. They won 2-0 against Ajax Cape Town, and then an exciting semi-final. Not the first 90 minutes, mind you, but the extra time period. It produced all 3 goals, with Kamwendo getting the late winner, Pirates winning by 2-1 against SuperSport United. So 2 huge teams in the final. William Shongwe is our expert analyst for today's game, and William, I suppose when they're planning cup finals at the start of the season, to have Sundowns and Pirates contest the first one of the campaign is perfect timing and perfect PR for the local game.
Perfect start to the season, I can say, Mark, and also I must say 2 of the best teams in the league, and these are the teams that has the potential to go on and win the leagues, and not only just the Super 8 Cup. And great players, lots of exciting skill. This is a game that has the potential to really be an exciting encounter. We can all look forward to a great and exciting game.
Couple of surprise choices in the lineup, Sir William. Brian Baloy preferred to Kelvin Marlin. Apataki up front in the lineup for Sundowns. What do you make of all of that?
I'm not too surprised about Brian's selection in goals, because he's actually been playing and in the build-up of this competition, so I think it's only fair that the coach allows him to be able to finish what he started. But it is only up front that I'm not too sure exactly why Ngwenya, who has featured for most of the time in this competition. But of course, experience of Pataki will come in very handy, and I'm sure at a later stage we will be able to see Mangoba Ngwenya.
So there's the Orlando Pirates lineup. Tiko, of course, only his 2nd game of the season for Pirates. He's won this trophy twice before with 2 different clubs. He won it with Jomo Cosmos, he won it with SuperSport United. He could set a record for himself with a 3rd Super 8 trophy with a 3rd different club. Benson Mhlongo will captain Sundowns tonight. Siema is the captain of Pirates. Neither of these 2 players have won a cup trophy in their career. Mhlongo has been in 2 losing finals in the Absa Cup with Wits University and with Sundowns, and Siema, in his 7 seasons in South Africa with Bloemfontein Celtic and with Pirates, never played in a major cup final.
That's why every cup final that you get to play as a player, you always wish that you win it, because you never know what might happen next. This could be your last, and in this case as well, for these 2 captains you've just mentioned, an opportunity for either of them to win it.
So now a moment of silence for the tragic passing of Gift Leremi, one of South Africa's exciting young talents, a man who was potentially going to play at the World Cup finals in 2010. Died in a car accident on Monday after coming back from Cameroon. Perfect silence from the crowd here, William. A mark of respect not only from the players but also the spectators for Gift Leremi.
The whole of South Africa will no doubt miss this youngster, and certainly the people are all here, and they'll take this moment to pay their respect in as far as the moment of silence is concerned. Certainly he was a player with great impact.
Today's referee, Acing Lobo, good, strong, solid performer, very fit official as well.
Covers the field like he was a youngster. I think that's why he's been that effective in his game, because he's always there and not too far from the action. He's been able to make good decisions. I think it's key for a man of his stature to be able to handle this game.
Francis Chancer has been a controversial character in goal for Orlando Pirates. Brilliant the one moment, perhaps a little rickety on other occasions. He'll be tested tonight by Sundowns. It's been 3 years since Orlando Pirates last beat the Brazilians. 6 matches, in fact, between these 2 sides have all gone Sundowns' way or ended in draws. Pirates looking for their first win since this time 3 years ago when Edelbert Digne gave them the winner in a 2-1 win. We're underway here. The SAA Super 8 final at the Absa Stadium in Durban. Mamelodi Sundowns are defending the goal to the left-hand side. They are in the yellow and blue colours. The All Black of Orlando Pirates on display. The 67th meeting between these two teams. 26 wins for Sundowns, 19 for Pirates, and 21 draws since 1985. And this will fall back for Francis Chancer. First early touch, important for the goalkeeper, just to get a little feel of it, William.
But I'm sure he'll have preferred, at least if it was a shot, to get his hands warmed up as well to the ball. But certainly I think it will still count for a lot of confidence on his part.
Mabizela at the back, imposing himself early on. He played for Orlando Pirates, of course, 2 seasons, including a championship winning one, captained the Buccaneers. Lebogang Mokoena. Now Kamwendo, this is good running down the flank. It's an attacking lineup that's been put out tonight. We haven't really discussed that yet. William Bibi Matombo's almost seemingly throwing caution to the wind. Ramutzuli's in there, Tico's in there, Mashehe and Mokoena, all 4 of them established strikers.
Well, for most of the time, Pirates have not been able to attack that much. In fact, it's very encouraging that the coach has hit a lot of goals from just about everybody in the country who is a Pirates supporter to at least come up with something a bit special as far as this team can attack. And these players, they have what it takes. Mokoena, who's not afraid to do his trickery in the midfield, and he's not afraid to push forward as well. He's got what it takes to score goals. He's got goals in the past.
Now Sundowns, William, with just one recognised wide player today. That'll be Dladla, and a good shot early on from Apataki just to test his Congolese compatriot Chancer. Dladla, the one established wide player down the right-hand side tonight. No real recognised left-hand wide player for Sundowns, so we'll see a lot of activity, I fancy, down the right here. Come Pirates, early chance, shots, and blocked by Vuyo Mere. So both of these teams showing some attacking enterprise in the opening 2 minutes of this game.
Tell you the biggest challenge for Orlando Pirates, you've mentioned all those players. As you can see, there were just about 4 of them already with that move in the box. But what happens if that attack breaks down? That for me is the biggest concern that the coach should maybe have thought about. But I'm sure he's arranged it such that not all of them are going to go all at the same time.
The 2 midfielders for Pirates are Teko Modise and Joseph Kamwenda. Both of them established attacking midfielders as well, so there's no real defensive midfielder, a ball winner or hard man just in front of the back 4 tonight, so that'll be interesting to see how Orlando Pirates play out this game. It hasn't been the most solid of backlines. Makita and Siema have been exposed on a couple of occasions in games so far. Now Ramazuli. Cover defence provided by the captain for the night, Benson Mhlongo. It'll be the first corner of the game.
The player that is expected to stay behind, I don't know how much of it is he going to do, is Joseph Kamwendo, who for Malawi played as a wide left wing player, and he's been drifted into the midfield attacking position, but today he's been asked to stay just a little bit behind everybody else, with Teko in front of him.
So some interesting tactics employed by both of the coaches in charge of tonight's protagonists. Brian Baloy is no stranger to cup success. He's won 7 cup trophies in his career, almost exclusively with Kaizer Chiefs in terms of cup success. A couple of league titles with Sundowns. Sundowns were beaten finalists in the Absa Cup final, the last cup competition on the calendar at the end of last season, beaten by Ajax Cape Town. They're in a second successive final, therefore, inside the calendar year. But this trophy has eluded them for the last 13 years.
I must mention one factor that might be a bit of an element for both teams. The pitch is a little greasy. You should realize that playing at night the grass will be a bit greasy, and that's what the players might have to deal with in these beginning stages, and it shouldn't take them too long to be able to settle down, particularly the goalkeepers. I think it's always a big challenge to deal with that skidding ball.
You had a look at the pitch earlier on, William. They did have 2 big rugby games here last night. It still looks to be in fairly good condition.
I'm sure they roll it down nicely. It looks pretty much okay for me. And of course, it is a bit soft, so that shouldn't be a problem at all for these 2 teams.
Orlando Pirates did not feature amongst the trophies last season. Sundowns, of course, were league champions. Just missed out on the league and cup double with that defeat by Ajax in the Amsterdam Cup final. This is always a great way to get the season off to a promising start. Now Muriri, the luck of the bounce there for the Sundowns striker. Good cover defence provided by Lucky Lekhwati, difficult man to beat in his right back role for Orlando Pirates.
Nice long ball played into the area, and really surprisingly, like his name goes, he's involved in that very attacking half.
Now Nyandoro, is he lining up for a long-range shot into Chibangu, back from Karlse, running here from Dladla, just behind the defender Leshabane, and Mokoena comes back to help out in defence. Long ball forward to Paulus Mashehe, who was signed by Pirates from Sundowns. Mabizela, of course, went the other way. So foot up the decision by Asen Ngobo, and Sundowns will have the free kick. This is the aforementioned Mabizela. He's 27 years old tomorrow. 2 league titles to his name, but never a cup trophy. There are a lot of players actually tonight who've never won cups. Established names in South African football: Muriri, Mhlongo. In from Vuyomere, he's also looking for a first cup success. It's his 150th league and cup game tonight. Started his career with Hellenic in Cape Town and last 3 seasons with Sundowns. Forward from Nyandoro.
It'll be interesting, Mark, to see just how Mabizela is going to partner up with Benson Mhlongo in defense, because he likes to carry the ball, he likes to push forward, and I would like to see just how is Mhlongo going to deal with the absence of Mabizela every now and then. It'll be a question of just how much the communication level goes on in there.
Mhlongo now. Nyandoro, good touch there for Brian Beloy. Grateful for the opportunity. 33 years old now, Brian Beloy, a winner of this trophy back in 1994. Incredible 13 years ago. Karlse. Forward by Makita. Header from Mhlongo will fall here for Ramazuli, player with plenty of pace. Tico, little chip inside. That's not going to find any of the 3 fellow strikers up front. Scored a goal, did Tico last Saturday. He was in Dar es Salaam playing for the Mozambican national side, got the only goal of the game in their Nations Cup qualifier. Mozambique not making it to the finals in Ghana, but finishing second in their group with a 1-0 away win. That was away in Tanzania. Muriri. Here's Apataki now. Muriri's calling for it. Chip inside there. Chancellor will come out and collect. Does so emphatically too. Wants the early ball up front. There's no one up there though. Pochai. Muriri. Modise battling with Muriri. They were teammates, of course, over the last week. Both playing for Bafana Bafana. Vuyomere was in the squad as well. The element of the ball skidding again comes into the picture. That would have been a beautiful ball played by Nyandoro to the on-running Mary. But again, he couldn't time or expect that ball to skid. And as a result, Sundowns loses possession. Tonight's game, William, is Orlando Pirates' first game in 16 days. So more than 2 weeks now they've been out of action. I wonder how much of an effect that's going to have on them. Long range shot. Straight at Brian Beloy.
Again, you could see how quick that ball touches down on the grass and flies away, but just as well Brian was in line. You talk about a few games, a few 16 days that it took them before they could play this game. It might bit of a negative factor, but maybe that's why the coach has been able to come up with this new setup here. It must have been the tactics that he has worked on in training. He has had 2 weeks to do that, so he should have lots of confidence applying it today.
These two teams were due to play in the league, not last weekend, but the weekend before. That game postponed, of course, because Sundowns were playing in Cameroon. Last weekend, an international date on the football calendar, so no club football. Pirates have had 2 cup games in this competition and 2 league matches. This is their 5th game of the new season. Sundowns, in contrast, are playing tonight their 7th cup game alone of the season, plus they've had 2 league games as well. That's because of their participation in the African Confederations Cup. They've already travelled to Tunisia and Cameroon in pursuit of top place in that particular table. They'll be in Lubumbashi in the Democratic Republic of Congo next weekend. This is Makita battling with Muriri. Congolese international, just arrived in South Africa and thrust into the excitement of a cup final. Next to him, Siemo, who's played since moving from his native Lesotho 7 years ago, is only getting a chance now as well. So this is Apataki, the Congolese international, scored against Pirates last season. He only scored 2 goals after joining in January from Amazulu. Gordon Ingerson, his assistant coach is Kevin Johnson. Kevin's brother Graham played as fullback for Orlando Pirates in the 1980s. Last touch off Makita, and they'll settle for the corner kick, will Sundowns. First set-piece opportunity for them from the corner situation. Nice crowd here tonight, good atmosphere. It's not completely full Kings Park, but pretty close. Dadla swings it in! Header from Muriri. He's already got 3 goals in the current campaign. He's a man in a rich vein of scoring form. 46 career goals in just 4 seasons. He's in double figures on average every season. Dada plays it short, back again, little combination here with Karlse. So throw into Orlando Pirates over on that far side. 22-year-old Lerato Chabangu in picture, played for the under-23 team last. They were beaten by Ghana in Potchefstroom 1 week ago. Makita clearing on the edge of the area. Sundowns with the pressure at the moment. Let's see if Modisa can set something up here for Orlando Pirates. Chase is on. And the clearance provided by Mabizela. Takes the place tonight of Michael Manzini, the established captain, who's working his way back from injury. He's on the bench. Hasn't had a chance to play so far in the current campaign, and Mabizela is such a quality centre-back. You wonder if Manzini will ever be able to get his place back. There's Nyandoro. Muriri. Vuyomere now. Challenge provides Sundowns with a throw-in off Lebogang Mokoena. Good turn. Chance for Carlson. It's his first goal for Sundowns. It's taken 15 minutes and Sundowns have the lead. 32 career goals for Hellenic and Ajax Cape Town, but it's taken him 10 months to find the back of the net for Sundowns, and it comes possibly in the most important game he's played for the club yet.
That's a wonderful strike. As Makita, who couldn't quite deal with that error ball, he had the opportunities a number of times to clear it. Eventually that ball, after a half clearance by the Orlando Pirates defense, falls for him and smacks it nice and low, way out of reach for the goalkeeper, who was completely unsighted, not a chance.
Good persistence too there from Muriri in the build-up, William.
Certainly you can see Destin Makita had the opportunity to clear that, but like you say, the persistency of Muriri had him under all sorts of trouble. Not the start that Orlando Pirates would have loved to see.
So, Brett Cardelsa has his name in lights here. This is a man who's going to be key tonight for Orlando Pirates, Teko Modise. Does he have the ability to produce a second quality performance just a couple of days after playing for Bafana Bafana against Uruguay at Ellis Park? It was on Wednesday night. Just a Dradla. Oh, the Sundowns fans celebrating already in these early stages. Now let's see if there's a response from the Buccaneers. Good header away from Mabizela and throw in this time. Mokoena takes it short. Little touch from Modise, nicely cleared away by Nyandoro. Chance for us, William, maybe just to reflect a little bit on the back four at Orlando Pirates. We've watched a number of their games already this season. We've seen some porous holes, and well, maybe they test it here again. It's Chabangu who was looking for a touch there. Dladla with the cross.
Quick counter is where this attack came from. I think Sundowns' strategy is very clear here. You could see they're a team that likes to go for it, but in these beginning stages they didn't seem to want to attack in all numbers. But it's only in certain instances when the openings got created, particularly wide right, where Josta had gotten more involved. That's when the pace and the acceleration comes into the picture, which is what I think might be a bit of a problem for Orlando Pirates to deal with.
Nice flick on here, and the back four will be tested again. Apataki just overran it a little bit. More and more chances being created by Sundowns.
But again, only in those instances whereby a counter-attack situation was available. You could see again in this instance, it was Orlando Pirates' ball, but the attack broke down, and quickly Sundowns turned it around into an attack.
If you look at the Pirates squad, rather, there's not too many players who play that defensive midfield role. They bought Lungisi Gumbi from Golden Arrows at the start of the season. He's got a groin problem. It'll keep him out for the next 2 months. And his absence tonight could be potentially the most marked for Orlando Pirates. They're missing a man who could operate just in front of that back four, put some muscle in there. They don't have too many other players of a similar style in their squad.
But when you look at the approach again, I think it was all for the reason that they need to push up the steady build-ups as a team. All ball players, they should be able to knock it about as a team and in a group form. But the problem is always that when that attack breaks down, then they can't recover quick enough or readjust to a defensive mode.
Now Nyandoro, header away from Leshabane, who gets to play in the left back role tonight because of injuries to both Ndledle and Lucas Twala. He's the third choice left back for Orlando Pirates, but they're missing 2 quality players in that position. Now Chabangu, referee says play on. It's a fine pass. Carlsa, early ball looking for Apataki. He's in the creative midfield role tonight. Modise, Mokoena. Now Tico. Great ball on the edge of the area with Masehe. We get the shot in! Brian Baloy really pushed forward there. Almost a little bit too much.
You haven't noticed, Mark, just about every shot that Brian has been able to save, he does it on the 6-area box. He basically starts anticipating his moves way early, and Pirates players have not been able to spot him, and in this case almost got caught, but did well. That was a good save.
Might have been a bit easier had he been a yard or two back, but Brian Baloy, experienced goalkeeper, pushes it over the top, and another corner here for Orlando Pirates. Well, there's been enough attack from both of these sides to indicate we're in for a good night's entertainment here in Durban. Header away from the goal scorer, Carlsa. Started his career as an out-and-out striker. He was a real teenage prodigy. His uncle, Dougie Carlsa, was a very famous footballer in the 60s and 70s. But Carlsa, in that creative midfield role these days, is a real quality player. Long-range shot. Well over the top as Pirates test from range. Siema, the captain.
But Brian, this time, I think he didn't move an inch from his goal line. He was not impressed with the way that his midfielders were not quick enough to close down Siema.
Up in the air from Mere. Chases on here for Masehe. Mabisela is going to be a difficult man to get past. The ball will go for a goal kick. This is a quality centre-back, Mabisela, and when he gets fit and strong, he has got all the potential to work his way back into the national team. 27 years old tomorrow, and over 40 caps already for the country. How many more that could have been had his career not taken a little bit of a wayward path. Suspended for drug use last season. Play on, says the referee. No foul against Gladla. Lishabani turns possession over. Now Kamwendo. Seen very little of him in the game so far. There he is again, the diminutive Malawian international. Played last weekend in Bulawayo. His country were beaten by Zimbabwe in a Nations Cup match, 3-1. Square passing here. Shots. Effort from Modise coming through from midfield, sticks it over the top.
Well, the coach's appeal to Teko Modise says, calm down, you had it under control, son. You just needed to take one more second to let the ball drop a little bit down so that you can connect it well.
2 seasons ago he was playing in the Mvela League in the 2nd division. Now an established international, Teko Modise, first choice midfielder for Bafana in their last game. This is only his 2nd season in the top flight. He's basically finished one with SuperSport United, and he's had a couple of games in the 2nd season. So remarkable step up to the top ranks for this young man.
Not only that, Mark, I've been impressed with the way that he adapts to different situations. Operated as a wide wing player, but when he arrived at SuperSport, was brought into a little more central position to fit into that dynamo shape, and now he's playing more central but more attacking, and he's done exceptionally well in all these instances.
Bit of a hospital pass there from Nyondoro. Mabizela has to chase on with Tico. Still got the legs and the pace, Tico, although Mabizela matched him game for game. Mentioning players who've had a rapid rise into the national side, Mabizela, of course, had only played 9 matches for Orlando Pirates, and he was already playing for the national team. Now, he's down at the moment. You won't see him on your screen. Just look to the left that they're playing on. Offside now against Apataki, and that'll allow Mabizela to get some treatment. You can see them pointing to him.
Well, Mabizela has remained on the floor after that tackle with Tico. In fact, he seems to be bleeding a bit.
This was the challenge, and maybe the fall there in that half wrestling match with Tico. He landed on his nose, William. I think that's what happened.
Maybe more his mouth than his nose.
You're right. Maybe cut his lip as he fell. So he'll need some patching up before he can continue into the blood bin, as it were, these days. There's no player allowed to continue playing while the blood is still flowing. Must be stemmed before he can come back on the pitch. Sundowns down to 10 men for the moment. Pirates should look to take advantage. Masehe, can he get it square? Looking for Medise, a little outstretched leg there from Nyondoro. Just did enough to take it away from the Pirate striker, and they'll have a goal kick as well.
I think you must be impressed with Orlando Pirates build up here. You could see the football idea is way clear. Twice Ramazuli has spread wide on the right, and he has not gone for glory. He's been able to bring the ball inside, knowing that there will be an avalanche of players coming from the midfield to connect. Modisa, I must say, has been a bit unlucky, but I think you got to give credit to the Sundowns defense, who has been able to match with all the flow of players coming from deep in the mid.
Don't forget, Super Sports coverage of the top PSL football continues tomorrow here in Durban as well, with Amazulu up against Bloemfontein Celtic. We'll be at the Princess Magogo Stadium in KwaMashu for live coverage of that. I don't think Super Sports ever been to KwaMashu before, William.
Well, I can't quite remember. Princess Magogo, yes, certainly we have been there, I remember.
We've been to Umlazi, to the King Goodwill Zwelatini Stadium, but I'm not too sure about Princess Magogo.
Don't worry, we've been there. It's you who hasn't been there, because for most of the time...
So it was a B-team game, was it?
I'm not going to go on with that argument.
Here's Lekhwati. Modise. Clearance is from Mere. The chase will not be made by Apataki. Now, Leshabani played here in Durban for Amazulu for a brief while. Actually comes from the Limpopo province. Started his career with Silver Stars and Dynamos. Moriri looking for Karlsa. They'll settle for the throw-in. So here's the goal scorer. It came on 50 minutes. Brent Karlsa has Sundowns in the lead. Orlando Pirates coach Gordon Ingerson there. Five Sundowns players in the penalty area looking for this throw-in from Vuyomere. It's a good one too. Shabangu, can he get it back in? Teasing his way. Still can't get past Lekhwati though. Now it'll be floated into the middle. Oh, it's missed by Leshabani. Gladler! Oh, that's a great chance. Sliding in there looking for number 2 was Karlsa. inches away, doubling his own goal-scoring tally and that of his club here in the cup final.
Brilliantly done by Ladla. Brings it down immediately and slams his shot across. He might have been going for glory there, but it doesn't matter. In that position, you just don't even have to look if there's somebody in the box, because if you hit it that hard, even a defender can score it.
What about the defence, William?
Of course, not anticipating that ball might be brought back. You should have expected that they'll be lining up to defend that cross from Ladla, but not a single defender was on side.
Bibi Matombo knows there's still plenty of work with his Pirates back four, that's for sure. Ladla again! Oh, it took a wicked deflection. Came off Leshabani and it'll go for a corner.
Something else about Ladla's approach to the game that has changed dramatically is how he's tugging more into the inside now in anticipation for a cross. And this is the second one in a space of a minute that has been able to connect with.
Corner kick to the back post. It's going to be another one. Goal kick instead. So there's the bench. Jori Marahe with the new look hairstyle. Chinene, who has been dropped, replaced by Mokoena. Nakwati. There's Carlsa. Muriri taken away by Makita. Decision goes against Carlsa in the middle of the park. The foul on Teko Modise. Stud showing. Not too sure whether it was Muriri who actually stamped on his toes, but nevertheless some dangerous play in there from Carlsa. Forward by Makita. Mase got the touch in there, looking for Tico. This is Modise. Chance here, out wide, just over the top. Effort from Ramazzouli, skims the top of the goal. Pirates are not out of this game at all. They've created a good number of opportunities. They've got into the box fiercely. Ramazzouli, luck that he kept that one over the bar. Well, he was under a bit of pressure from the defense, but again, I think his first touch let him down. Scored against Sundowns last season. They lost both of their league encounters against the champions by 2-1. Nyandoro, Carlsa sneaks it away there from Kamwendo, looking to get Chabangu going down the flank. Chabangu's playing the wide role out on the left-hand side tonight, Ladla on the right. But like I said, what Ladla is offering is a lot different than what we've seen in the past. Masaka being brought down here, because normally you would stay very wide and expect that diagonal long ball from Nyandoro in the midfield. Today he's more of an attacking midfield player, a little bit on the side. Modise gets the snap effort in, no real power to test Brian Beloy. He's had a number of shots from just on the edge of the area in this game. Last touch. Leshabani is battling a little bit in that left back role. Mere plays it forward. Clearance from Kamwendo to Modise. Mhlongo gets there first. Mere again. Dladla. Now Muriri. They're allowing Pirates to get players behind the ball. So 10 minutes now to the half-time break. Sundowns leading by that goal, which came on the quarter-hour mark from Brent Cardlesa. But as William Shongwe suggested, Orlando Pirates certainly not out of this fray. Been a nice open attacking game, William.
Except for that Pirates' attempt at goal maybe has not been that incisive. And yet, if you talk about creating good openings to get scoring chances, they have.
Mabizela bang it forward for Apataki up against Makita. Francis Chancer missed out by Tico, but it fell in the end for Maseka. Modise now. He will shoot again, and he will go wide. Well, if he keeps trying, he might find the target.
That's the only thing that is missing from Teko Modise. That's just to find the target and maybe give it a bit of power. He gets himself into good position continuously, and he gets the service. That is wonderful to see, and so many times he's been found unmarked, and that will be dangerous for Sundowns.
SAA Super 8 final, the last one, because the sponsorship comes to an end after tonight. I'm sure there'll be the same tournament under different guise next season. Malloy comes off his line, then stays. Header away from Mabizela again. Chabangu loses possession. Modise, crunching challenge in there from Cardlesa. Referee allows play on. We haven't had any cautions in the game yet. Mere intercepts. Dladla. He's got the pace. Cardlesa now for Muriri. Apataki's gone on the run. Muriri wants it back, but instead they'll bring Dladla into the fray. This surface, of course, suits these two teams. So does the fact that it's a nice wide pitch. Good opportunity to spread it out and play some good football tonight. Apataki against Makita. Dladla, Nyandoro, Muriri. Cardlesa finds Chabangu. Strong challenge from Siema. Still Sundowns. Tochai to his skipper Benson and Mhlongo. Well, in the end, all of that possession turned over.
Well, you talk about the big pitch. There's always another element that will make it possible to take advantage of such a big pitch. That is technique, because you need to be precise and accurate to be able to find a player who's on the other side, who would have up the pitch. And I think this is the challenge that these two teams will be facing. While it is advantageous to have the wide pitch, you still need the technique to get the ball to the other side.
Chabangu now, is he going on his own? Up against Makita, twists and turns the defence. Now Muriri, first touch is a little bit strong, allows Kamwendo to come away with it. Modise, Tico. Ramazzuli, asking a little bit too much there of the aging legs of Tico, 34 years old last month. There's Nyandoro. Sarelse, he's going to go for the long-range shot. Well over the top.
Now, another factor as well that I think has helped Sundowns, you can see they look very comfortable. They're knocking about. They have the space. The defense of Orlando Pirates have not been able to push up to try and close that. They've stayed back, which has helped Sundowns to really have quite a bit of time to knock the ball about.
So there's some players warming up, including Dylan Shepherd and the new Chilean international, Julio Acuna, whose entree will be much anticipated. Gordon Ingerson's not had much luck in cup competition over the last few seasons. Did win this trophy quite famously, of course, with the Orlando Pirates. It was the day his daughter got married. He missed the wedding ceremony, but was helicoptered to Johannesburg Airport from the stadium at Soccer City and caught the flight, made it to the wedding reception. Cross into the middle here, Gludler's at the back post, chance has slipped and he got away with it.
Talk about being lucky. We mentioned the pitch being greasy. I think that's exactly what's the reason for chance of being able to slip. Very lucky indeed that Gludler could not take that first time opportunity.
Kamwendo now. Mokoena. Seen very little of the ball on the left-hand side, Lebogang Mokoena. Player down for Pirates is Maseche. And he's back up again. Now he's down again. Four and a half seasons with Sundowns, produced 9 goals. Challenge from his former teammate Josta Gludler. So final 3 minutes of this half. There's Dylan Shepherd warming up. Played for Bafana on Wednesday. Chance for you, William, to reflect on the first half so far.
Well, I thought both teams had created enough openings to be able to be rewarded with goals. Of course, Sundowns have snatched that one, which wasn't really a clear-cut opportunity. If anything, I think it's Pirates who would have expected themselves to be at least to have scored 1 goal. But still, I think it's an exciting game, a game that is really tactical, with both teams a bit conservative.
There's Mokoena. Leshabani.
And you must be impressed with the young star as well, Kamwendo. I think in his new position, he hasn't disappointed that much. I thought he's done very well, because we expected quite a lot of pushing up from him and his friends, but he seems to have stuck to the plan here.
Odisha has done all the pushing from a similar position. Kamwendo stayed back. There he is with the clearing header, finds Ramudzuli. Back to Lucky Lekhwati and the captain Siema. Now Leshabani. Makita turn possession over there. They've played it nicely amongst each other, but really didn't have a plan with the ball, what to do with it. Now Nhlongo keeping Masehe at bay. Into the final minute, and then stoppage time to be added on by referee Ace Ngobo, the headmaster from Willowdale. Gludler. Mere on the edge of the area. Good skill! Is that a free kick? Mere didn't think so. He's chasing back. Ace Ngobo wasn't far away. Great run from Mere. It was like Maradona, the way he was twisting and turning those defenders.
what amazes me is that with that kind of ability, he hardly does it, and yet he looks so good when he does.
There's Dadla. Well, he is a fullback, of course. There's defensive duties first. There's a shot from Cardle, so blocked by Siema. Now a bit of a chance for a run here. Mokoena finds Tico. Teko Modise now. 2 minutes of stoppage time indicated by the fourth official.
Oh, wonderful skill from the youngster Mokoena.
So still a minute and a half. Pirates will want to get on the score sheet, of course, and take this game into the break on level footing. Sundowns want that psychological advantage for the interval. These are crucial moments now. Concentration needed by all of the players. Away from Mhlongo, straight up in the air from Cardle, sir. Muriri. Now less than a minute for Sundowns to hold out for the half-time break. They find Justin Gladler steaming in the middle. Is Apataki. It's a dangerous cross. Chancer, he would have been aware of Apataki just behind him. Took his time about getting to it though. Maseche. Ramazuli was waiting for the return pass. Here's Modise. Kamwendo's pushing forward now. Cardlesa comes away with it. He's had a great game in midfield, Cardlesa, winning a lot of possession and being creative in the process. There he is again. Oh, Nyandoro just did Modise. Lack of pace there from Nyandoro. And I think Acing Ngobo saying to him, why? Well, I can tell you why, Ref. He was just a little bit slow. Sorry, Mr. Ref, but, you know, he just missed the ball completely. Modise must be saying thanks for shin guards.
And I think at the same time, Nyandoro as well is thanking his lucky stars, because that certainly wouldn't have been a bad idea as well to show him the yellow, because he was completely outpaced there.
I think maybe what persuaded Acing Ngobo was it was not malicious, it was just slow. There's the halftime whistle from the referee. So Brett Carlson's goal on 15 minutes separates these two teams. Orlando Pirates and Mamelodi Sundowns in action here in the SAA Super 8. It's the champions who have the lead after the first 45 minutes. It's been a pulsating start to this cup final. Plenty of action, lots of running, some good football, and lots more to come, of course. Your World of Champions Supersport bringing you the first final of the new season. Let's just confirm the scoreline. Brett Cardlesa has the goal. It's Sundowns 1, Pirates 0.
Now you can insure your car, home and valuables online with Old Mutual iWise. Visit iwise.co.za and see how easy insurance can be.
Welcome, my people, to the world of Super Diski.
This is Welkom's finest. Muita is Bam Senor.
Week in and week out, we bring you live Diski in crystal clear HD. We have the best commentary team in the game.
Click, click, bang. That's what we're all about.
With up to 3 language options on all Super Diski matches. Our analysts are legendary. And now we have more live games than ever before. All brought to you by this super team of Diski experts.
It's Super Diski on Supersport.
Get closer to the beautiful game with Monday Night Football. Relive the actions from the weekend's biggest fixtures. Listen to our team of experts discuss the latest news and talking points, and express the matters close to your football heart by email, phone or Facebook. Make a plan to score the time for Monday Night Football. Live and exclusive to your world of champions.
Introducing the new Nokia Lumia 920 with Windows Phone 8 and 4G LTE. This is Lumia. Experience it.
So welcome back everyone here to Kings Park in Durban. What a wonderful night for football. Cup final night, of course, the first on the calendar for the new season. It's the Super 8 decider. Sundowns lead Pirates by 1-0. We stand by for the start of the second half of this encounter. Nice crowd in here this evening as well. Good weather here in KwaZulu-Natal. And so far it's been a good night too for Sundowns. You get the second half underway. Vuyomere with the early ball. No changes at the half-time break from either side. It's Cardlesir with a touch now. Muriri up front. Makita clears it. Cardlesir again. Support on the overlap. Butler trying to combine there with Cardlesir. This is Modise who will come away with it for Orlando Pirates. And that foul committed on Maseche, so Orlando Pirates have a free kick just inside their own half. Plenty of work then for the Buccaneers. Awaits here in the second stanza if they are to fight their way back. We will have a winner tonight of this Super 8 trophy. Extra time and penalties, if needed, are on the menu. But for the moment, Sundowns have that one-goal lead. Always threatening, looking for the second as well. He has a chance now for the Buccaneers. Cleared by Mhlongo from deep in his defence. Butler's going to play this out there. Two Sundowns players knocked out on the edge of the area. Looks like Nyandoro is one of them. Bibi Matombo, coach for Orlando Pirates. Gordon Ingerson. So concern there for Ezra Nyandoro. Have to get a bit of a knock in that clash there with Maseche, and then Mabizela went down as well. Or was it Mhlongo, the skipper? So Nyandoro is the player requiring the stretcher. They won't want to lose his influential presence in midfield. There's George Acuna, the new Chilean signing.
Well, it could be an opportunity for Acuna to be robbed in at this stage in time, but he's more of an attacking player than a defensive, which will be slightly different from Nyandoro's role. But still, there could be changes that can be made. Mhlongo being pushed into the middle defensive zone, and bringing Manzini to take his usual position in the center of defense. So, in as far as options are concerned, I think Sundowns are looking pretty well.
So back into the action. Teko Modise has possession here for Orlando Pirates. Tiko wide out here. Lekhwati joins in the fray. That'll hang up in the air, and Brian Beloy will watch it go over the top. Got to be careful swinging on that crossbar. It's been known to break in the past.
And as well, I think of late, FIFA has actually clamped down on such antics from goalkeepers. And I'm surprised Ngobo has not even bothered to actually mention it.
There's Shakes Mashaba, who's taken on a role here at Orlando Pirates. He's a former coach of this club, of course. Had much success with them in the early 80s as their team coach. Now on the administrative side as team manager, a role that was previously filled by another Orlando Pirates great, Phil Tsetsedi. So early stages here of the second half. Vuyomere in picture. Makita. And Yandoro back in the fray. Gets his body in. Good work from Apataki. Now Chabangu. Offside. That was marginal, but Muriri looked just a little offside there. Quickly taken by Orlando Pirates as well. Here's Modise. Ramazzuli. Modise is the one player who's really getting things going, and Ramazzuli's cross is a disappointing one. Now the crowd on his case as well. Fans indicating they want a substitution. That's not going to do him much good in terms of his confidence, William.
This is the point that you at least need a row of the crowd in support, but the player would know exactly what that row is all about, and not happy with particularly that execution of him not being able to bring the cross in. But now if you look at it from one incident only, and they want him substituted, that's not good enough from the supporters.
You did see Chinene and Joseph Makanya warming up, so message from the coach as well to Ramazzuli, pick up your performance, otherwise you could spend the rest of the cup final watching from the bench. Here's Nyandoro. Possession given away by Kamwendo. Chance for Chabangu now. Up against Lekhwati. Defensive work from Siema. Here goes Ramazzuli now. Down the flank. This will be neatly done by Mabizela. Such an elegant defender. Bulelo Mabizela comes from this part of the world. A lot of fans today with t-shirts handed out by the city of Durban, celebrating 2010 and the fact that we are 1,000 days away from the kickoff of the World Cup finals in this country, the first African country to host the FIFA World Cup, June 2010. I'm sure everyone has got that in their calendar already. No holiday plans there. The hotels, the resorts I should say, in the non-soccer playing areas are going to be wondering where everyone's gone.
Well, the resorts that are closest to the stadiums where the activity will be taking place, of course, business will be booming.
Absolutely. Already they are looking forward to good financial bonanza, as is the country, when the rest of the world comes here. So George Nkuno on the right, Michael Manzini in the middle, and Dylan Shepherd on the left-hand side amongst those warming up. There was another long-range effort from Modise that went well wide of Brian Beloy's goal. So he's got license to shoot here in this game. Nice flick on from Carlse, header away from Makita. Brett Carlse now finds Josta Gladla up against Leshabani. Apataki looking to get it back in. Tico didn't get the flick on he was looking for. Mabizela. Nyandoro. Carlse just had a moment's loss of concentration there, I fancy. Plenty of time left in this game for Orlando Pirates to get onto the score sheet and force dramatic close to the encounter. Sundowns, of course, will be looking for an insurance goal. Winners Sundowns over Bloemfontein Celtic, and then on penalties over Jomo Cosmos in the semi-final. Pirates won both of their matches to get here, away at Ajax in 90 minutes, and Supersport United they overcame in extra time. Now, forward from Muriri. Makita gets a round of applause. Nhlongo. Chases Onya for Apataki along with Makita. Window for Orlando Pirates. Both of these sides will be in action in the next week or two in the first round of the Telkom Cup. They'll be making that draw in the next couple of days. That's the next cup competition on the menu. 16 Premier League clubs involved in that one. And then, of course, next year the ABSA Cup is the main trophy showpiece as far as knockout competitions are concerned in this country, involving all the amateur clubs in the early stages, the Umbrella League teams who join in later on, and then the PSL sides. Around about February they'll play their first couple of games in the cup competition. Sundowns at the moment just happy to hold on to possession. Orlando Pirates standing by to bring on their first change of the night. So disappointment so far for Orlando Pirates supporters, but Chinene now to replace Ramazzuli, the first change of the night. Player who was left out of the side, Mokwena came on in his place. Played an influential role in the game against Ajax, which saw Sundowns winning in Cape Town in the quarterfinals of this competition. Where's he going to slot in, William Shongwe?
Well, clearly he'll go in on his usual and most influential position, that is the left-hand side. And what will happen is young Lebogang Mokwena will take the wide right position, where he's most comfortable as well.
Apataki now, chasing here with Siema, and a foul by Apataki, just tugging on Siema. It's quickly spotted by the linesman on the far side, Mr. Geronimo Piet from Port Elizabeth. So one change made so far by the Buccaneers. Will Chinene be able to turn things around? Was here in Durban, of course, with Amazulu this time last year. Carlson, Muriri. This is Oscar Tochai. Shabangu now up against Lucky Lekhwati. He's battled to get past him tonight, and Lekhwati's actually won the throw-in.
I think the Lekhwati has done exceptionally well, because if you consider the pace of Shabangu and the skill, he would have been able to rip wide and create some opportunities, but so far I think Lekhwati has done exceptionally well. He's been able to keep him quiet.
Won the league championship 2002-2003 season, but has never won a cup competition. Lucky Lekhwati scored against Sundowns last season. Here's Oscar Tochai. Chabangu, Carlson. Now Muriri chases on here for Brett Carlson. So, living in hope, the Buccaneers fans. Nice little touch on there by Muriri. Nyandoro is giving chase here along with Chinene. Oh, lovely work there from Dladla. Little touch from Muriri, trying to lay it back in the path of Jabangu. Here comes Sundowns again. Vuyo Mere joining in on the attack with Dladla. Flick on by Muriri. Apataki back into the path of Muriri. Defensive work from Leshabani. Flags up on the far side from the linesman, indicating a foul by Apataki. All or should I say Muriri on the defender. Lucky Lekhwati. Hasn't been a dirty game by any stretch of the imagination. 11 fouls. It's good going. Apataki. So as we approach the hour mark, William Shongwe, any discernible patterns in the second half? It looks at the moment there's a little bit of probing, a little bit of trying to get some possession going, but well, let's see what Vuyomere can pull out here. Muriri is going into the near post. Foul, no. Siema with a crunching tackle. Here's Cardlesa again. Was he brought down by Modisi? Referee says play on there too. William.
Unfortunately, I think the onus are on Pirates to try and come up with something. You can understand Sundowns a bit more conservative, and yet for a lot of Pirates, there's quite a few things that has not worked well as far as their tactics are concerned. The changes that has been made has not brought much effect. We still have to see the effect of Mokoena on this right, but also very quiet.
Lebogang Mokoena comes into this game, of course, not having scored for Orlando Pirates in the last 18 months. Tiko is going for goal, and that's the first shot on target from the Buccaneers for a good half hour or so.
But you can understand why it is so. Only Modise is the one player that has had the opportunity to take shots at goal, and the rest of the team, I think they're really either they made a decision that they weren't going to shoot at all. Because if you think about it, everybody has had the opportunity at some stage to be in a position to strike, but I think because they've not pushed much going forward, that could be their problem here.
So Makanya standing by to come on. It'll be the second change. Chabangu. Good turn from Cardlesa. Has a look up. He's got Apataki. Tries to thread it through there. Dadla also trying to find Apataki. Now Modise comes away with it. Chinene adding some pace into the attack here for the Buccaneers. Gets inside. Chinene being held back there. Oh, that was close. That was close. In fact, he's given the decision on the edge of the area. That is a bit of a let-off for Sundowns.
A big let-off. A big let-off. Because he didn't fall at the stage when he was just about there. That's where the actual contact was started. The real contact happened right inside the box, as you can see here. What happened on the line was just a touch, which I don't think you'll have given a decision for.
Nyandoro's already had a warning from the referee. Another stern lecture from Ace Ngobo, but I think in his heart of hearts, Ezom Nyandoro will know that Sundowns a little fortunate there. Chinene's pace really was the undoing there, but he was also quite strong in that challenge for a small man, Chinene. Physically, Nyandoro much the bigger of the two players. Now, Teko Modise. This is a great chance for Pirates to get back into the game. Swung in! Hits the upright!
The question is, did Brown get a touch to it? I don't think so.
Well, the throw-in is given to Orlando Pirates, so there must have been something in there. And now the change. Before they can take this kick, Joseph Makanya will come on, and Lebogang Mokoena will go off. Here's a look at that rasping shot. He got a big touch to it, Brian Beloy.
Oh, well done. That's a brilliant save then, because that was heading for that far post.
Chance again. Big clearance there from Chabangu will ease the heart pressure and blood pressure of the Sundowns supporters. Congo underneath this. Modise, always dangerous in possession for Orlando Pirates. Lovely setup for Chinene. Cuts inside again, gets a lucky deflection, and then he slips Chinene, just as he was looking to drag it inside for Tico.
Now that was what was missing in the Pirates camp. A player with that confidence and aggression to take the Sundowns defender on. That is what Chinene has done. We're hopeful that Makanya will be able to do the same thing on this right-hand side.
Sundowns are going to make a change. Apataki's coming off. Godfrey Sapula comes on after injury, back into the lineup. The best player of the league last season at the age of 33. Godfrey Sapula back into action. Here's Makanya. Up in the air from Carlson. It's fallen here for Orlando Pirates. And Tico trying to get in there. It was a bad backspin attempted clearance off the side of the boot. Good passage of play here from the Buccaneers, looking to fight their way back into this cup final.
They're looking better. In fact, they're looking good. They're threatening. Their chances now are looking more positive to get something out of this game.
Great run from Dladla. Lays it back to Muriri. Here's Makanya now. He's come on to the right-hand side in place of Mokwena. Chinene's taken up a position on the left in place of Ramazzuli. They're opening it up a little bit. Tico trying to find Maseche in the middle. Here's Modise. Chinene. Maseche. Oh, that was another good chance.
It's funny how one player can change the reflection of the game completely. Chinene has done that. The forcefulness, the pace wide has taken a lot of focus in from the Sundowns defenders. In fact, he's been able to minus one or two players, and very unlucky that they've not been able to profit from it. Maseche unlucky that ball hit him more than him controlling it.
The entree of Sapula for Apataki. William, your take on that?
In fact, they'll be very, very short in attack. But what the coach is looking for here, I think they're losing control of this game. They need to keep a bit of possession in the middle. That's why Sapula is one player that should be able to string things around. And even if they don't push too much forward, but possession, I think, is key at this stage in time.
There's Vuyomere to Islam Nyandoro. Strong challenge from Josta Dladla. Chinene finds Tico in the most spectacular fashion. Mabizela is there to clean up. So, good passage of play now for Orlando Pirates. Confidence building amongst their young players. But too much possession being turned over. Nyandoro. He's given it away as well to Siema. Makanya. Kamwendo. Twachai. Turned over to Makanya. Gets past one challenge. Goes to the byline. A little bit too much from Makanya.
Well, maybe let's bring in Joseph Kamwendo. I think in his new role, I'm impressed. As we look at Makanya trying to bring this one in, I've been very, very impressed. It's a new position completely, being a position in a defensive midfield situation, and yet he hasn't ventured much forward, and he's always ever so present, and each time he's got the ball, the delivery to the players around him has been exceptional.
Carlson. Twachai up to Muriri. He's been closely watched tonight by Siemas. Sat right on top of surprise Muriri. Now the lead attacker for Sundowns. Mhlongo at the back. Well, they get the free kick. Maseke showing his physical presence there as well. Benson Mhlongo, of course, is captain South Africa. When Pitso Mosamane was coach, he gave him the captain's armband for one game. Looks a good leader.
Now, if you look at what has actually gone wrong with the Sundowns approach, is I mentioned that central midfield position actually is one of their biggest challenges now, because they're not in control of this game. That's just where they spring most of their attacks from. That's where the long ball would come from, to find the two strikers or the players running wide, left and right. But now it's almost non-existent. That's why they've not been able to make any progress going forward, or to try and threaten the Pirates box.
Nice little touch in there from Tico. And Chabangu clears with some style. Crowd enjoy the spectacular moves. A little bit of entertainment tonight amongst the tension and drama of the cup final. 20 minutes remaining here in Durban in this deciding game. SAA Super 8, Sundowns, the league champions, looking for their first trophy success in this competition more than a decade. They were semi-finalists in the last two editions. Made it to the final only on penalties against Jomo Cosmos. So Mere plays it into touch to allow some treatment here for Brett Cardlesa. Sundowns can make two more changes. They've only brought Sapula on. Pirates have only one more option off the bench, having brought on Chinene and Makanya, and those have proved to be two very good moves. William Shongwe.
Very, very good moves indeed. You could see the problems that Sundowns have been in. It's been Sundowns on the back foot, surprisingly, but it's very, very clear. In fact, completely in charge of that midfield position. I mentioned Joseph Kamwendo and also Tekamo Diso, of course, in complete charge. Two young stars. And of course, we wait for the arrival of the Chilean international, Acuna.
Would you bring him on in a cup final for his debut? Maybe at the end with a handy lead, or is he good enough of a player to come and take control? Obviously, Sapula being brought on is an indication of how the pecking order works in Gordon Ingerson's mind.
Well, now I think as a coach, give us the reason why you signed the player. If you're not going to have that much confidence to bring him in a game of this nature, why sign him altogether?
George Acuna played for Feyenoord in Holland. It's arguably the biggest international signing in local football for a long time. Established Chilean international. We've had a few Chileans over the years. Most of them brought by the famous Chilean of them all, Mario Tuani, who coached in this country for decades. Raul Gonzalez was a league champion with Bushbucks. His son Mark, of course, played last season with Liverpool, now playing with Betis in Spain. And there was Mario Varas, who's still working in Johannesburg. Another great Chilean talent, Eddie Compadonico. Who else was there, William?
Well, I think that's about it. Just go on and mention those that I had in mind. Of course.
So here he is, Acuna. You've been waiting for him. Jorge Acuna from Chile. That's the goal from Brett Cardlesa that separates these two teams, and the goal scorer is now going off. Gets a handshake from Lerato Chabangu, a round of applause, and on comes Jorge Acuna for his debut in South African football in a cup final. There's not too many players who've had that privilege. William Shongwe will keep a close eye on him, give us some opinion after a couple of touches. Two changes made by both teams now. One left for Pirates, one left for Sundowns. Just over 50 minutes remaining.
What is clearly missing as well from Sundowns, Surprise Morelli is not the kind of player that will play that top role, and he's not the player that would like to harass and really chase defenders on. So I think everything is falling according to Pirates' game plan here, because the defenders at least have the time and the ability now to be able to pinpoint their pluses. They can start build-ups from defense. Nobody's threatening them, which is a bit surprising for me, because Mangoba Ngwenya should be the player that can do that for them.
Makita, he'll clear. Mere finds Chabangu, looking for Sapula, who's pushed forward with Akuna coming on. Fochai gives it away. Up to Modise, good interception from Chabangu. First touch for Akuna, wins possession away, that'll give him a bit of confidence.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Look at that high ball, long one being played for Moriri. He's not going to chase it. He's not going to waste his time. He's not that kind of player. He's not cut out for it. That is what is missing right now in that defense. Look at the space that Pirates defenders have. They have all the time.
Maseche testing Sundowns there. So we have the third and final change now for Orlando Pirates. Tico will go off the former Blackpool player Tebogo Mashaba, who came on as a sub for his debut against Supersport United. Gets his opportunity here in the cup final. Don't forget, of course, tomorrow, live from the Princess Mogogo Stadium in KwaMashu, where William Shongwe has been before, and where Supersport will venture tomorrow. Bloemfontein Celtic are taking on AmaZulu. Here are the Free State fans who've come early to watch the cup final. They'll be at KwaMashu tomorrow, along with the audience across Africa, on your World of Champions live coverage of Bloemfontein Celtic's visit to AmaZulu. Akuna took his eye off the ball. Makanya comes away with it. It's a good pass too. Shot from Maseche goes well wide. Not the best of starts for a new player. You know, in South Africa, you've got to make some good early touches to win the crowd over, otherwise they can get on your case very quickly.
Well, I must say, was very unlucky with that one. Took his eyes, and not everybody is going to believe that he took his eyes. But all they'll think that maybe he's not that quality player that most people have said about him.
Good work from Morire, but equally good defensive aptitude from Siema. Offside flag. It'll be a Sundowns opportunity to clear. Time is now beginning to tick away. 13 minutes, tired legs up front from Maseche. They've taken Tico off. They've taken Lebogang Mokoena off. Ramazuli, the 3 of the 4 striking players who started this game have been replaced. Gone a little bit wider, Orlando Pirates. And Sundowns have brought on 2 midfielders with both defensive and attacking aptitude, and have 1 more change in stock for them. Now Moriri. Makita living a little dangerously there, finds Siema and Lekhwati in turn. Now Makanya. Chabangu, far too much possession given away, and almost predictable there. Mere giving chase, Chinene trying to twist and turn him, and once again it's turned over. Leshabani pushing forward, leave a bit of a hole there on the left hand side if Sundowns look to exploit it. Isaac Leshabane from AmaZulu to Pirates last January, along with Chinene. He would have expected joining a big club like Pirates. He would be playing in a cup final within a year. Tochai, look at Acuna. We have to watch that he doesn't go offside. Now Sapula. Last touch of Mabizela, and he managed to keep... No, he didn't in the end. Hardly put a foot wrong tonight, Bulelo Mabizela. Brian Beloy will claim this. We now have 10 minutes remaining, William Shongwe. Enough time, do you fancy, for Pirates? Or has the sting gone out of the tail?
Well, with the kind of confidence that they picked up when the two wingers were brought in, they looked like they were going to create something very positive, but they've since gone off the ball at the moment.
So Brian Beloy, experienced campaigner. Is he going to win his 8th cup title in South African football? There's not too many players with a list of glory like that. Dr. Kamala claims to have 10 cup finals under his belt. We'll find out from him afterwards. Thomas Malombo can put him on the spot, see if he can remember all 10. Don't forget Trot and Dr. Kamala in the studio. We've got expert analysis from them at the end of the game. Chancer with a spectacular touch. You can't have a game without a dive from Francis Chancer to entertain the crowd. I thought we were going to go through the 90 with nothing. Good work from Mere. Now Acuna finds Sapula. Chabangu. Taken away by Chinene. Early ball for Modise. Nice work from Benson Mhlongo. Otherwise, it would have fallen for Teko Modise. He has the chase for Gladla now. Is this going to be number 2? Makita with the defensive work. There'll be no rush to take that throw in from Sundowns. So, the tension amongst the fans. Good work from Modise. So Mabizela was there again. But be careful not to be too calm and collected.
That's his style, Mark.
Now Acuna chasing back. Mabizela really sold that. Tochai will go back and collect. Longo, Dadla, Mere. Sundowns already making it clear what they are going to do for the next 7 odd minutes. Chabangu now, it's 3 against 3. Early ball looking for Marine, who had the last touch as well. Back again to Chabangu. He's got Nyandoro behind in support. A bit of a sloppy pass in the end. Tired one too from Chabangu. They'll settle for the corner though. Cross into the middle, looking for Mariri. It's been a tough week for him playing for the national side. There's the trophy. Someone's going to be holding that aloft at the end of 90 minutes, it would seem. And that's where we are, Durban, on the east coast of South Africa. Kings Park, the venue tonight. Five and a half minutes remain. Forward from Leshabani. Possession turned over to Chabangu. Akuna now. Lovely ball looking for Dladla. Just a little bit too close into the middle. Makita. Chinene is out wide. Mere, the defender, to beat. Brings him down. That should be a free kick and maybe the first yellow of the night.
It's about time.
Acing Ngobo is going to hand out the only yellow card of this game. He's going to do it with a smile. Vuyo Mere into the book.
Are we going to see another Modizes specialist from a position that he nearly bit the goalkeeper, Brian Malloy?
It's a tough angle.
That one is even more narrow than the first one, but quite a good amount of bodies in front of the goalkeeper. That is a good position to really throw the cat amongst the pigeons.
They are waiting in anticipation. Yes, Modise curls it in! Came off the head of Mshongo. It will be a corner. Oh, to be a fan, William. You have to go through all of that tension and pressure. Taken by Chinene. Cleared by Chabangu. Chinene's kept it in play. Sapula battling with him. Makanya from the right side. Brian Beloy's dropped it! A little uncharacteristic from a man of his experience.
He's claiming he was pushed. Obviously, I'm sure we'll have a look at that to see how
Beloy will get there first. Well, appealing to the gods now and the ancestors in these closing stages. Are they going to answer? Dadla. Muriri. Nyandoro's out wide. Muriri wants it back in again. Played short to Sapula. Is Dladla going to go for a shot? Too much backspin on that. Makanya will come away with it. Far too much possession turnover. Now Tochai finds Muriri. Tochai's looking to get onto the end of it. Muriri's shot cannoning off the back of a defender. Less than 2 minutes remain. Plus a little bit of stoppage time here in Durban. Muriri! Sundowns continue to look to hold on to possession here. Makanya. Still looking on the Buccaneers. Still no way through that crowd of yellow shirts. Now Muridi. He's going to try and lay it out wide. Leshabani intercepted. Sapula's got some fresh legs out there. Finds Dadla. Happy just to keep it there in the corner. Long ball forward for Francis Chancer. Now he needs to get this forward. 4 minutes of stoppage time, William Shongwe.
Well, that should be good enough for Pirates to still believe they can come up with something. But for Sundowns, that will seem like 30 minutes. At least they do seem to have gotten a bit of control into this game. I think it was clear for them that they're not going to get the same goal, but maybe a bit of possession will really do the trick for them.
Akuna running himself into trouble there. Getting used to the pace of the game. Modise's shot. That'll be a Sundowns throw-in, I fancy. No, it's been given Orlando Pirates' way. Bibi Matombo. Very little emotion on his face, but you can see the tension, licking the lips there. Pacing up and down, looking at his watch too. Throw in here. Makanya, good shot! Left footer, which you don't see very often from Joseph Makanya.
Oh, it was a brilliant touch from Brian Baloyi. That looked like it was set to go in. Stretched himself. Was there an offside or something? It looks like it wasn't. A corner wasn't even given.
Well, maybe there wasn't a touch there, William.
Clearly, for me, there was a touch, Mark. You too tired to start arguing.
Here's Ledler. Sundowns are 3 minutes away from the Super 8 trophy, unless the Buccaneers can produce some sea robbery here. Can they force this game into extra time? You'll remember in the final of the Telkom Charity Cup at the start of the season, they managed to get a late goal in stoppage time from Ramudzuli against Bloemfontein Celtic and forced that game into a penalty shootout. That went to penalties after 90 minutes. We'll have extra time here if they do manage to get an equaliser. Sundowns, by the way, are warming up Michael Manzini to come on and presumably just wind down the clock a little bit in the closing stages. Here's Shanene now. Going on his own. Challenge from Voyomere is legal and solid. Sapula. Nyandoro back again. Twachai. Well, even the defenders are still pushing forward here. Now, he's been told by the coach, you go to the corner flag. Taking on Lucky Lekhwati, who's big and strong. Referee says it's Pirates ball, Pirates throw-in. 30 seconds remain. We've had 3.5 minutes of stoppage time. This must be the last chance now for the Buccaneers. Leshabani does the right thing, bangs it up there. Maseche, shot! Just got a touch off Mabizela, so we are going to have a corner before the final whistle goes. This now must be the last chance for the Buccaneers.
And Sundowns will like to lose this last substitution of Michael Manzini to wind down the clock further.
That is the players going off. Excuse me for interrupting you.
Will the ref even look at him?
meantime, they're sorting out that corner. So the last change of the game is made. Benzini doesn't even have time to get into a defensive position. Disappointing corner. Now time must be up. Players are on the edge of the pitch. Acuna gets the header away. This is Kamwendo. Bangs it at goal. It's all over. No. Now it is. Gordon Ingerson can celebrate with Kevin Johnson. Daniel Madau's in there as well. Mamelodi Sundowns have won the SAA Super 8. The goal from Cardlesa on the quarter-hour mark has given them success on an emotive day when the memory of young Gift Aremi now will be right up there with their emotions, the celebration tinged with the sadness. It's Sundowns who have won this competition, the SAA Super 8. It's taken them 14 years to get this trophy, but they are the winners. They've beaten Pirates by 1-0. Your thoughts, William Shongwe?
I think it's been a wonderful day of football. Yes, we didn't see as much goals as we would have expected it, but certainly Sundowns, they got the one goal and they were able to consolidate.